Right. So how do you get to apply to study in Canada? How can you obtain an admission? So some of the things, most of the things I will be saying would apply to different classes of people in terms of whether you are coming for your first degree or you're coming for your master's or you're coming for a diploma program, even for your PhD. So I want you to pay attention. And if you have not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. You know, it's not been easy for me doing these videos. My schedules have been very busy, but in spite of all of that, I try to make out time to do this video just for you. So please, the support I need from you is to subscribe, like the videos, share the videos, so that way the information will get to a lot of people. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chooks and this is Canada Info Place, where I share a lot of information that has to do with Canadian immigration processes. So if you're interested in moving over to Canada, this is the right place where you get all the information that will help you in achieving that dream. So once again, thank you for joining me. I'm excited to have you here. If this is your first time of joining me, please subscribe to this channel, like the videos, share with your friends so that a lot of people will get to hear about this information. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you once again for keeping the support going. I really appreciate all of that. So today I'll be talking about how you can move to Canada through education. You know, in one of my previous videos, I had talked about some of the processes that you can use, and I did mention that education is one of the ways, coming to school in Canada, studying in Canada is one of the ways that you can actually use to relocate to Canada, or just for the sake of studying in Canada, right? So if you have not watched my previous video where I talked about the benefits of using school education, studying in Canada as a means of relocating to Canada, I strongly recommend that you go back to the video. It's titled Common Ways to Canada Part 2. That's where I talked about using education as a means of coming over to Canada. So today I want to talk about, assuming that you've actually watched the video and based on your findings, you discover that it's best for you to use education to come over to Canada. I know you have some questions about how you're going to go about this. So that's why I'm doing this video today. And I'll be talking about how you can actually apply for admission for you to come to Canada. Because for you to even come to Canada for study, you need to first of all have an admission. And after you get your admission, then you can talk about applying for a study visa that will allow you to come to Canada to study. So first of all, we want to take first things first, right? So how do you get to apply to study in Canada? How can you obtain an admission? So most of the things I will be saying would apply to different classes of people in terms of whether you are coming for your first degree or you're coming for your master's or you're coming for a diploma program, even for your PhD. So I want you to pay attention. And if you have not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. You know, it's not been easy for me doing these videos. My schedules have been very busy, but in spite of all of that, I try to make out time to do this video just for you. So please, the support I need from you is to subscribe, like the videos, share the videos, so that way the information will get to a lot of people. So thank you once again. So today I'll be talking about how you can apply to get an admission offer so that you can study in Canada. So let's get started. What are the things that you need to do if you want to apply to study in Canada? So pardon me if you see me looking down because I've written a lot of notes. I don't want to miss any of those things. So to start, what are the processes? How can you obtain an admission so that way you can come to Canada for study? First of all, you need to identify the course you want to study. So you need to ask yourself and to know what you really want to do. And with respect to that, especially for those who want to primarily use education as a means of relocating to Canada, you need to be careful in selecting your course because that would also determine go a long way in determining whether your visa will be approved or not. So somehow you need to find a way to tie it into your interest. If you've already obtained your first degree, you need to make sure there's some level of continuation in terms of what you studied in your first degree and what you want to study now in your higher degree, maybe your master's or your diploma, because that has a way of affecting the visa approval process. So you need to be very careful on that. But on the general note, you need to identify the course that you want to study and make sure it's something you're interested in doing. If you're going to change a course, you must be willing to able to explain why you're changing, why this new course you want to do is now of interest to you. So it's very important. So after you have identified the course that you want to study, the next thing is to identify or search about the universities that offer those courses. So in Canada, you have about 96 federal universities. I mean, that's a lot of universities without counting some private colleges and private universities. So they have a lot of institutions. So you need to do a lot of work when it comes to searching for the institution you want to go over. And depending on what your preference in terms of the city, in terms of the what you can afford, the affordability of the school. Some schools are more expensive than others. So these are some of the things you need to do. But in selecting the university, don't forget it will be tied to the course. So you need to look for the universities that offer the course. Just a simple Google search can actually help you do that. So once you have selected the course that you want to study, and you've identified the universities that offer that course. So don't just look for just one university. As much as possible, look for as many universities or colleges that offer the course, so that way you can apply to as many as possible. This will help you to increase the chances of your admission offer. So in case this university is not able to give you an admission, another university may be able to give you the admission. So it's very important you know that. And the next thing I will talk about is the fact that you need to also understand that there are application deadlines for various universities and even various courses. So you need to watch out for that. So for each of the universities that you go through and you select as the one you want to study, you want to check out the deadline for the application. And each of these universities have their semesters. So you have like the winter semester, which normally starts like in January. The fall semester, which starts normally like in September of the year. And then, so they normally have the application time for each of these semesters. And another thing I will talk about is that for the semesters, some schools also offer like the courses in spring. Spring semester starts like around May. So May of the year. I will give you a hint when it comes to applying. If your school that you're applying to offers like the spring semester, which starts in May, it's usually advisable for you to apply to that kind of university or apply for the spring semester, because during the spring semester you don't really have so many applications coming in. Most people tend to apply during the January or the September semesters, and those ones are usually jam-packed, so the competition is very high during that period. So that's a secret I just told you. So when you're applying, make sure you want to check if they have a spring semester, you have less application during that period. So that's very important. Next thing I'll talk about is about getting your academic transcripts. So most of the universities will require you to get your transcripts before you can be given an admission. And this is very important. Even if you're coming for your first degree in terms of this is your first time of ever going to the university, your high school courses that you did, your subjects that you did, the grades that you had in those courses will be required. So you need to contact your high school in that case. But if you're coming for your master's or a diploma or something like that, you need to contact your first degree, your university where you did your first degree, and ask them to send your transcripts. Now, this point is very critical because admission in Canada is time-based. So there is always a deadline. So you need to make sure the transcript arrives on time. So you need to give in all the effort you need to put to get your transcript. Particularly for some countries, it's a bit difficult to get your transcripts from the university. For instance, if you're from Nigeria, I know it's a lot difficult getting transcripts from Nigeria. So the earlier you start, the better for you. So identify the school first of all. Once you made up your mind, this is the course I want to study, this is the school I want to study in, get the address of where you are supposed to send your academic transcripts to, and go to your university or your high school and make sure they send your transcripts to this university, to the university address. And it's also important you know that you are not supposed to like send your personal copy. It has to come from the university, so it has to be an official copy. Right, you can actually give them your personal copy of your transcripts. They can use that as an initial stage to just start like reviewing your documents, but for your final offer, you actually need the official transcript for from your university. So this is very important. So make sure you get the transcript right on time. Don't waste time when it comes to that. That is very, very important. Okay. Next thing I will talk about, I've talked about the application deadline. So it's very, very important that you meet the deadline. Look out for the deadline. Don't miss it. Do it fast as soon as possible. Remember, the admission also is very competitive. There are lots of people applying. They normally do it like first come, first serve basis. So you have to apply on time. Another thing I'll talk about is your English test. So Canadian universities would want to know that you are able to communicate in the English language, because in Canada, English language is is what they use as the means of communication for education. So now I'm not saying that you have to do a test, English test like the TOEFL or the IELTS, that's IELTS, or any of those English tests. No, it's not compulsorily required depending on your situation. So what do I mean by that? So in Canada, they recognize that some countries, their official language in those countries is English language actually. So they do know that, for instance, if you are from Nigeria, Canada knows that Nigeria, the official language in Nigeria is English. So what you need to do in that case is that you don't really need to write an English test, but you need to get an official letter from your school, that is your high school or your university, confirming that you did have your education in English language. As a matter of fact, that English language is the official language of the nation. So that way, once they get the confirmation from your university saying that you studied in English language, then you don't need to write the test. But you need to, once the letter is sent to the university in Canada, then the requirement for English language will be waived. Now, this may depend on the university you're applying to. Some universities may be strict and they may say they want the English test. So I'm just letting you know about this. So find out from your university you're applying to make sure you have the right information. But in most cases, I can assure you that you don't need to write the test. Just get a letter of confirmation that you studied in English language in your university, and that should be good enough. So that's very important. Now, the last thing I will talk about, would that be the last? Yes, I think that's the last. Yeah, so the last thing, and this one is very, very important. It's called a statement of purpose. So a statement of purpose is a letter, it's like a composition, an essay that you write to the university telling them why you want to study this course, why you have chosen the university, your experience, if you have previous experience in the course that you have done, or your area of interest, or things you really want to do after studying the course. These are things you want to state in the statement of purpose. So you explain yourself, you introduce yourself. This is the only way the university will actually get to know you. So this is where you sell yourself and tell them why you must be considered, why you must be the candidate that must be offered that admission. So it's very important that you take this part very seriously. There are a lot of information available on the internet about how to write a very good statement of purpose. I want to encourage you to go ahead and do a quick search. I can probably sometime in another video, I can share with you about how to write a very good statement of purpose, so that way you are sure that your application for admission will be considered. Okay, that's very, very important. Make sure you write a very good statement of purpose, because that is the only document that will speak for you. So you have to present yourself very well. You have to package it very well. Thank you. So now the next thing I will talk about is academic references, or references in general. So you need to like get references from people who know you, who would say, oh, I know this person, he's academically sound, he has the skills, he has the stamina to go through the rigorous university environment, things like that. Probably this could be like your lecturer and your undergraduate degree, or if you're from high school, you're just going to the university fresh, it could be like your confirmation from your high school teachers, or it could be from your parents, it could be from a senior colleague, things like that. Right. If you have work experience, let's say you're going for your master's, you could have, most times they want a reference from your undergraduate, as well as a reference from your workplace. So someone to say, okay, this person is good enough for this course, like someone to speak on your behalf. Right. So you need to find out the process for your university where you're applying to, and know what they want in terms of the references. So that is very important. Then the last thing I'll talk about is the actual application. So once you've gotten all these things ready, is for you to go to the universities that you've selected that you want to study in, and do the application. So the application process is online for most universities, and it's very simple. As long as you can use the internet, just go in, follow the process. The instructions are usually provided as well. They're very clear. Just follow them and provide them all the necessary documents. Make sure nothing is missing, because your admission could be rejected. I mean, your offer for application for admission could be rejected. So make sure you have all this information ready on time. And once you take all the steps, I believe that it will not be difficult for you to have the admission. Like I said, and I will re-emphasize, that statement of purpose is very, very important. Make sure you write a very convincing statement of purpose. I will do a video on exactly what to do when it comes to writing statement of purpose. So that is it for today. How to apply to study in Canada. If you want to relocate to Canada using education, these are the things that you really need to do for you to come over to Canada as an international student. So application for admission. In the next video, I'll be talking about, now once you apply for your admission and you've received your admission offer, the next thing is for you to apply for your study visa. So that's a different process. In the next video, I'll be sharing on how to apply for your study visa, what you need to do, what the process is like, and just about everything you need to know when you want to apply for your study visa. And once again, I would like to remind you, I'm not an immigration officer, I'm not a licensed lawyer, I'm not an agent. I'm just sharing this information based on my personal experience from living in Canada. So thank you once again for joining me. Please, if you've not subscribe to this channel, like the videos, share with your friends. And I believe that your dream of studying in Canada would definitely become a reality. Thank you. And don't forget, this is Canada Info Place. Have a lovely day. Bye. See you.